Hello everyone, welcome back to Learn Russian with Learn Russian. So we are up to lesson 24, and as promised, it's pretty much a repeat of what we did before. So now we have nouns and adjectives for feminine nouns in all cases. So we repeat the two previous lessons, which were about masculine and neuter nouns. Now we do them for feminine nouns. And I hope it doesn't get too boring or too repetitive. Perhaps the makers of these lessons were also aware of that possibility, because lesson 24 is pretty short. It's actually pretty straightforward and short. So we have one dialogue to start off as always, or as almost always. And then we have just one exercise here where we fill in 3 sets of blanks. And then already we wind down with a little story and a test, and that's it. Just a little mini test about the story, and that's it. So the story is already kind of a cool-off exercise. So basically, there's 2 main exercises here. Should be, I think this might be the shortest lesson we've seen yet, actually, at least in these more advanced lessons. So let's go ahead and get started. So we start off here with obviously a traveler there on the left who is talking to 2 customs officers. He's at the Mojnia booth, customs, and he's talking with 2 customs officers. So a customs officer, as you can see, is a tamoženik, and the traveler is a inostranец, which literally means like a foreigner. So let's go ahead and play the dialogue through and see what happens.
Ваш паспорт.
Пожалуйста, вот он.
А где российская виза?
Извините, я иностранец, я плохо понимаю по-русски.
Где ваша российская виза?
А, виза! Вот она.
Это не российская виза.
Как?
Где вы делали эту визу?
Не помню, эту визу делал мой секретарь.
Извините, без российской визы вам нельзя.
Но это российская виза.
Что случилось?
Да вот, у него проблемы с российской визой.
Покажите, пожалуйста, вашу визу.
Пожалуйста, вот моя виза.
Извините, вы можете читать по-русски?
Да, чуть-чуть.
Пожалуйста, читайте здесь. Какая это виза?
Белоруссия. О боже, это же белорусская виза.
Извините, но по белорусской визе вы не можете быть в России.
Извините, 1 минуту. Алло, Кристина? Ты делала мою российскую визу? Да? Ты уволена. Без выходного пособия. Немедленно.
So a pretty awkward dialogue as usual. Okay, I'll go. Let's go through it again, and I'll explain it as we go along. So starting up, so the first customs officer says,
Ваш паспорт.
"Your passport," meaning obviously a demand to see the traveler's passport.
Пожалуйста, вот он.
Пожалуйста literally means both please and you're welcome. It's I guess in this context it's sometimes used as a word to mean something like here you go or something like that. It's like normally you'd only say you're welcome in response to somebody saying thank you, but here it's kind of like if you're giving somebody something, you say you're welcome in advance of them saying thank you. Germans sometimes do this as well. Germans will sometimes say bitte or bitte schön when they are giving you something that you want or that you expect before you say thank you. And then вот он is just basically here he is. Passport is masculine, so вот он, here he is, means here's the passport.
А где российская виза?
А где российская виза? So here we go. Let's go ahead and put this in the slot there. So, and where is Russian visa? Visa ends in an A, obviously, so it's a feminine noun, and this is in the nominative case because he's the visa is basically the subject of the sentence or of the question. So.
Извините, я иностранец,
I'm sorry, I'm a foreigner.
я плохо понимаю по-русски.
I understand Russian badly.
Где ваша российская виза?
Once again, same question. Где ваша российская виза? Where is your Russian visa?
А, виза! Вот она.
Ah, visa. Here she is. And again, because visa is feminine, he says, here she is.
Это не российская виза.
Once again, the visa remains the subject, not the object of the sentence, so it retains the nominative form, российская виза.
Как?
Guk is like, I mean, it's kind of like what, except if you're kind of if you mean what in the sense of what did you say, or I don't get it, I don't understand, then you say guk, like how instead, like how?
Где вы делали эту визу?
Where did you do this visa, or where did you make this visa?
Не помню.
I don't remember.
Эту визу делал мой секретарь.
This visa did my secretary. The secretary made the visa, except if you read it literally in this word order, it says this visa did my secretary.
Извините, без российской визы вам нельзя.
I'm sorry, without... Okay, hold on. So, biz, so now we have a different form because it's biz. So, it's без российской визой. And let me just cheat a little bit. I don't know if it's cheating really, but since we are doing feminine nouns and their different forms here, let's go ahead and quickly come down here. We have a similar table here. You can see we had a table like this for masculine and neuter nouns. Now we have one for feminine nouns. So we come down here and we see that biz invokes the genitive case. And so for such a case, you put oi on the end of the adjective and then e at the end of the noun. So that is consistent with what we're seeing here. Российской is from the adjective, and oh, it's oi on the noun as well. That's kind of a that's a bit of a special case. It's actually not something we're seeing represented here. It's a bit unfortunate because that's kind of a inconsistency, but that's one of those words which, I guess, one of those nouns which transforms in a funny way. So anyway, I'm sorry, without a Russian visa, вам нельзя, you cannot, cannot, not is can.
Но это российская виза.
Okay, and this guy is still confused, and he says the visa is still the subject here, so he simply says, no, это российская виза.
Что случилось?
Okay, and at this point in time, the other customs officer comes up, apparently concerned about the argument going on, so she says, what's going on?
Да вот, у него проблемы с российской визой.
Yes, here, he has, notice it's у него and not у него, he has a problem with, and now it's with Russian visa, so Russian is, should be instrumental. Yeah, it's interesting actually that they have also showing up here under genitive, but I believe that in most cases would be instrumental. Is that? Well, hold on. Let me go ahead and put in the correct form here. So, it's. Wait, did I put in the wrong form up above? I think I might have made a mistake previously with the... Yes, I did. I'm sorry. Herpaderp. So this российской визой up here actually belongs here under s. Okay, that explains why I got it wrong. And then this goes up here. Okay, let's check this again. I think this might make more sense. I messed it up. That was my own silly fault. So, okay, so once again, let's check here. Bez is genitive, so you put oy on the adjective and then e on the noun. So, yeah, okay, this is now correct. Sorry, so you put oy on the adjective and then e, or in this case, li, on the noun. So now it's bez rosyjskoj vizi. So that's now correct. Or vizi, however you pronounce that. I still can't pronounce that I properly. Okay, so that's now correct. And then with, so with is instrumental, and you put oy on both. Or, well, you put oy or ye on the adjective, and then oy, you, or ye on the noun. Boy, that's pretty difficult. You kind of have to know. Okay, but that is consistent with what we're seeing here. So that's the instrumental case. Okay, so that's correct. This is instrumental case, and the customs officer says, yes, he has a problem with Russian visa.
Покажите, пожалуйста, вашу визу.
Show, please, your visa.
Пожалуйста, вот моя виза.
Please, here is my visa.
Извините, вы можете читать по-русски?
Да.
Okay. Excuse me, you can speak in Russian?
Да, чуть-чуть.
Да, чуть-чуть. Yes, a little bit.
Пожалуйста, читайте здесь. Какая это виза?
So, please read here. How is this visa? In Russian, you would say, in English, you would say, what is this visa, or what kind of visa is this? But in Russian, literally, how is this visa? Meaning, what sort of visa is that?
Белоруссия. О боже, это же белорусская виза.
Okay. This guy speaks pretty good Russian for a foreigner who claims to not speak any Russian. He even uses the correct grammatical forms. But okay, so Belorussia. Belorussia is, of course, Belarus, which is a different country. It's not so Bela or whatever means white, and Belarus. It's called Belarus in English, but in Russian it's Belorussia, literally white Russia. It was at one time, through most of its history, it was united in the same country as Russia, and it's only recently that it's become politically a separate country, but it's still called white Russia because it is basically seen as, it has historically been seen and is still kind of today seen as an offshoot of Russia. So, Belorussia, oh боже, oh God. Это, and then here we put in there again the nominative form. It's a Belarusian visa.
Извините, но по белорусской визе вы не можете быть в России.
Okay. She sounds a bit amused. I guess she can't help but be a bit amused, even though it's kind of a bad plight that the guy's in now. So, I'm sorry, excuse me, but with a Belarusian visa, you may not быть в России. You may not in Russia. Cannot in Russia. Man cannot enter Russia. So let's just check quickly. Bo invokes which case? Okay, dative. So bo is one that we haven't seen very much. I mean, we say по-русски or по-английски to refer to in the language of Russian or English, but we don't see very often this preposition used in other forms. But basically, it means with, like by means of a Belarusian visa, you may not go into Russia. So Belarus is Russia's closest international partner. I mean, the two countries are physically next to each other, but the countries are very tightly united. In fact, I think Belarus is the only country where you can go live and work in Russia without a visa and vice versa. So Belarusian citizens can go freely travel over the border to Russia, and they can live and work in Russia, and Russians can freely travel to Belarus without a visa. So the two countries have a relatively tight political union. But despite this, if you're a foreigner, if you're not a citizen of either country, you do need a Russian visa to go into Russia, and you do need a Belarusian visa to go into Belarus. You cannot just get into you can't go into Russia with a Belarusian visa. At least as far as I know. I've never tried it. I've never been to Belarus. Belarus is the only North Slavic country I've never been to, so I can't say that I've tried to get into Russia with a Belarusian visa, but I assume that this is correct and that it doesn't work. And finally...
Извините, одну минуту. Алло, Кристина? Ты делала мою российскую визу? Да? Ты уволена. Без выходного пособия. Немедленно.
So, quite a jerk thing to say, but okay. So, извините, одну минуту. Excuse me, 1 minute. Hello, Christina. Ты делала, you did мою российскую визу, and this is now in accusative case. She did the visa, and so in accusative case you add ую to the adjective and у or ю to the usually to the noun. So российскую визу. Да, yes. Ты уволена. You are fired. Безвыходное пособие without severance pay. Немедленно, immediately. And that was the end of the dialogue. So, very, very bad dialogue. Everybody lost. The guy was barred from getting into Russia because he got the wrong type of visa, and his secretary got fired immediately without severance pay. Why is he talking to her in Russian? If he can't speak Russian very well, why does he speak to his own secretary in Russian? I mean, maybe the secretary is Russian, but even so, I assume that they must speak a different language together, since it's kind of a requirement that the guy understands his own secretary. So I highly doubt that he speaks to his secretary only in Russian, because he wouldn't have hired somebody who speaks only Russian if he couldn't understand her. Anyway, well, whatever. So yeah, that was that. That was the dialogue that we open up with. And once again, we see the table here. I get there's not really much left to explain. You've already seen the 6 cases several times now, and this is just the same 6 cases for various nouns that end with the various forms that feminine nouns can end in. So there you go, useful table for you to use with feminine nouns that have these feminine endings. Okay, and now we have the one kind of big exercise that defines this lesson, which is the these 3 sets of things to fill in. So let's go ahead and fill them in. So babushk is, of course, babushka, and it's это, so this is in the nominative form. So the nominative form is just babushka. It would help if I switched to the Russian keyboard. And then star becomes staraya. What do we see for a nominative form here? Yeah, we see aya or yaya at the end of the adjective, and then well, babushka, you just have to know. You just have to know that the noun is babushka, which you probably know by now since it's a fairly common word. Okay, мы сегодня идем к okay, so now we went к бабушка. It's a k is of course dative. So what do we have for dative? You put oi on the end of the adjective usually, and then you put ye on the end of the noun usually. So this should then become к старой бабушке. Okay, and then so мы сегодня идем к старой бабушке. We today go to old babushka. Okay, number 3. So is genitive, so we put oi on the adjective and then I or e on the noun. So for babushka, it's babushki. So it's staroi babushki. So у старой бабушки. Завтра день рождения. The old grandmother tomorrow has a birthday, or it's the old grandmother's birthday tomorrow. You just o, so the prefix o, or not the prefix, but the preposition o about is prepositional, and so we put oi and ye. So this should be старой бабушке. Я часто вспоминаю о старой бабушке. I often think about old grandma. That sounds like a personal problem, sir. Well, maybe it's a woman, who knows? Or maybe it's a child, I don't know. Неделю назад something... so, wait, what did... Oh, he saw the old grandmother, so I saw her, so that's accusative case because she's the direct target of the noun. So accusative, you add you or uyu to the adjective and then u to the noun. So this should become старую бабушку. I choose you, бабушку. So, неделю назад, last week, я видел, I saw мою старую бабушку, my old grandma. Last week I saw my old grandma. And finally for this set, внуки любят говорить so. So is kind of an unusual form of s, but this is instrumental. So again, we add oi and oi. Oi, oi, oi. So actually, I'll just copy and paste it from here just to make it easier. So there we go. Внуки любят, the grandchildren like говорить со старой бабушкой, talk to old grandma. The children like to, or the grandchildren like to talk with old grandma. Okay, set number 2. So, галерея. This is now galeria. This is galeria. Actually, I'll just put it in here because this is the first sentence here, I believe, is simply in nominative form. So let's go ahead and just put the ya in there. And there's your word, galeria, gallery. So the forms here will be a bit different because this ends not in but in ya, which is, I guess, why they're doing this exercise. They want to show you how it changes when a word ends in ya instead of a. So the adjective remains aya. Tretьяковская галерея, the Tretьяков Gallery, очень известная галерея не только в России, но и в мире. Very famous gallery, not only in Russia, but and in world. In English, of course, you'd say, but also in the world. But in Russia, they say, but and in world. So yeah, so here under nominative, you see, yeah, the second form is, not площадь, no, площадь doesn't, yeah, the third one, there we go. The third, so the second one is площадь, which it's kind of a special case because it ends in a consonant and then the мягкий знак, the soft sign. But the third one is what we're dealing with here, a noun that ends in ya. So once again, Третьяковская галерея, and in the second sentence, what do we have? Oh, it's accusative. So so you add you to the yeah. So you add you, I think, here, and then or uyu. Yeah, here we'll add uyu, and then you add you to the nouns. So let's see, is that correct? So yeah, Tretьяковскую. Yeah, Tretьяковскую галерею. So, tourists всегда, always, photograph Tretyakovskую галерею. Tourists always photograph the Tretyakovsky gallery. So, that again is accusative because they are performing the verb directly on the gallery. The gallery is the direct recipient or the direct target of the verb. So tourists always photograph Tretyakovskую галерею. Okay, number 3. Aha, we see the O, and that's our tip-off that this is prepositional. It's the prepositional case. So we add oi, probably, or maybe we add ye. Which one is it here? It is oi. So we add oi to the adjective, and then ye to the noun. So so I said we add oi. How do you know that? I don't know. You just have to know. Don't ask me how you're supposed to know. You just need to know. So it's Tretyakovskoi галерея. Мы много, we a lot, слышали, heard о Tretyakovской галерее, about the Tretyakovsky gallery. Okay, рядом с, okay, so с is, рядом с is instrumental, so you add ой and you. So this becomes, once again, I'll just copy and paste oi, and then it's галерея. Oh, it's галерея in this case. Yeah, it's the third form that you see there under instrumental. So it's галерея. Again, I don't know how you're supposed to know this. You just kind of have to know it for the specific noun. I get the feeling that you just kind of have to know these for individual nouns. So рядом, in the area or nearby the Tretyakovской gallery, есть небольшое кафе. There is a small cafe. Небольшое, literally not big. There is a not big cafe, a small cafe. Okay, and here we see po once again, which you might remember was dative. So we should add, then we add either oi or ye. It looks like we add oi and then we add oi and ye once again. So, right, so Tretyakovskoi галерея. Я могу гулять, I can walk, I think that's I can walk, по Tretyakovской галерее, like around the Tretyakovsky gallery, целый день. So I can walk around the Tretyakovsky gallery all day. Okay, and finally, biz. Biz is genitive, so we probably add oi or ye to the adjective, and then e to the noun. So what do we do here? We add once again oi to the oi to the adjective, and then the noun ends in ye. Без Tretyakovской галереи, without the Tretyakovsky gallery, Москва будет другим городом. Moscow would be different, like another city or a different city. Without the gallery, it would be another city. Okay, and finally we have, once again, this wonderful word visa that we opened the lesson with so much. So, у Клауса есть, okay, so Klaus has, I think, this is actually, yeah. So this says Klaus has a Russian visa, but even though he has it, because of the phrasing of Russian, the visa is in the nominative form, because the sentence literally says, at Klaus is a Russian visa. So the Russian visa is, in effect, the subject of the sentence, because the visa is being at Klaus. So the correct form here is retaining the nominative form, and so this is a у Клауса есть российская виза. Okay, so next form. Иностранец не может работать в России без российского. Okay, so internationals or foreigners may not work in Russia without. Без is genitive now, so it should be ой and и. Без российской визы. So visa takes the и. Российской визы. Визы. Internationals may not work in Russia without a Russian visa. У Мартина всегда были проблемы с. So, с is instrumental, so you put ой and in this case we put ой and ой. Без российской визой. У Мартина всегда были проблемы с российской визой. Martin always has or have always been problems with Russian visa. Okay, and ba, this is dative, if I remember correctly, and it seems that I did. So we put oi and then ye or e on the noun. So российской and then viz. In this case, it's vizie. По российской vizie. Around the Russian visa, туристы могут поехать в Белоруссию. Is that true? Tourists can transit into Belarus. I thought that this was not correct. I actually don't know the laws, and maybe the laws have changed. So don't take this as an authority. Obviously, don't use this as advice or consular advice on what visa you need. But this is saying that with a Russian visa, tourists can go to Belarus. Well, the guy at the beginning had the opposite situation. He had a Belarusian visa and wanted to go to Russia. So maybe it's the case that you can go to Belarus with a Russian visa, but not to Russia with a Belarusian visa. That's what I'm understanding from this. But I don't think that this is the case. I don't think that you can even... Because I remember when I was in Russia, I had a Russian visa, and I'm pretty sure that they told me I was not allowed to even transit through Belarus. I actually just wanted to transit through Belarus and make a stop in Minsk, and I was told I wasn't able to even do that. You need doesn't matter if you have a Russian visa, you need a Belarusian visa to go to Belarus. So I didn't go. Well, I don't know. I don't know if this is true or not, but anyway, linguistically at least, this sentence should be correct. So, Loran вспомнил о so o is prepositional, so we add ой and probably ye, and it looks like that is correct. So российской визе. Loran, I believe this is the Russian form for Lauren. Вспомнил, remembered о российской визе, about Russian visa в последний момент. In last moment. So Lauren remembered about the Russian visa at the last moment, or in the last moment. And finally, Robert. So he is doing something directly to the visa. The visa is the direct recipient of the verb in the sentence, and so this will be accusative. So we'll put probably uyu at the end of the adjective, and then u or you. Looks like in this case we put u at the end of the noun. So, российскую, and then for the noun we put u. Okay, wonderful. Everything was correct. So, Robert, всегда, always, получает, gets, российскую визу без проблем. Russian visa without problem. So, Robert always gets a Russian visa without a problem. Lucky Robert. Okay, and now we have a fairly long letter from Simon written to John. You can even see, if you look at the email client at the top, you can see the interface of the email client is in English. So it's from Simon to John. CC, it looks like he CC'd actually don't know whom he CC'd there or why. And then subject my.jpg. So he included a JPG of my, we. So I believe that that is Simon on the left in the brown hair, and then he appears to be with a purple-haired woman in a rather shapely blue dress. Probably apparently in a bar or something. So let's go ahead and, yes, read and listen. And this may tie into a previous letter that we read not too long ago, read and heard not too long ago. So let's see, we might be some plot continuity here with something that we saw recently.
Привет, Джон. Как твои дела? Почему не пишешь? Слушай, у нас тут такие дела. Ты уже знаешь, что твоя сестра встречается с Бобом? Думаю, она уже писала тебе об этом парне. Так вот, а я недавно встретил его сестру. Вот это жизнь. Неделю назад я был в командировке в маленьком городе в Мексике. И там я увидел эту прекрасную девушку. Я говорил с ней целый вечер. А что еще делать в отеле после скучной конференции? Я хотел знать все об этой удивительной незнакомке. Мы говорили о нелюбимой работе, о жаркой погоде, о мировой экономике, о твоей сестре и ее брате, и о любви, конечно. Я был готов говорить с этой умной девушкой всю ночь. Но через час я уже был пьяный и ничего не помнил. А утром этой девушки уже не было в отеле. Но сейчас у меня есть ее визитка. И я очень хочу ей позвонить, но боюсь, что она думает обо мне как об алкоголике. А что мне делать, друг мой? Да, и я не сказал тебе, как ее зовут. У нее самое прекрасное имя в мире – Барбара. Пока, Саймон.
I think they have mostly Russian native speakers reading these texts so that they get the pronunciation correct, but the intonation is a bit awkward because I guess I sometimes get the feeling that they're not really intoning these sentences in the way that you would expect. Like, when you know how when you pose a question, your intonation should be a bit different from if you're making a statement or just making a pause or something like that. I mean, the tone that you use to divide sentences and things like that is different. And just somehow I get the feeling that these Russian native speakers, when they read these texts, they sound more like they're reciting them rather than they're acting them. So that, to me, the intonation sounds very strange. But then again, I'm not a Russian, so maybe I'm just that's just my perception. But just the way he reads the letter, it's the pronunciation is correct. Obviously, I mean, he pronounces all the words and correctly, all the letters and the words correctly. But just the way that he kind of his tone just somehow doesn't seem correct with the intent and the phrasing to me. Somehow it's just somehow how I perceive it. But what do I know? Again, I'm not a Russian. So, okay, I'll go ahead and attempt to I'll attempt to translate. So, привет, John. Hi, John. Как твои дела? How are you? Or how's it going with you? Почему не пишешь? Why do you not write? Слушай, у нас тут такие дела. Listen, we have stuff that we're doing. Ты уже знаешь, you already know, что твоя сестра встречается с Бобом. That your sister is dating with Bob. So yes, Bob, that wonderful guy whom we read so much about in the previous letter that woman enthusiastically wrote to her brother. Now we see a return of the story of Bob. So you already know that your sister is dating Bob? Question mark. Думаю, I think, она уже писала тебе об этом парне. So I think she already wrote to you about this парня, as like a guy. Так вот. Так вот is, yeah, it's one of those weird connector sentences that you can't really translate directly. А я недавно, but I recently met его сестру, his sister. Вот это жизнь. This is life, or such is life. So I recently met his sister, such is life. Неделю назад, a week ago, я был в командировке. I was in командировке in a business trip or on a business trip. В маленьком городе в Мексике, in a small city in Mexico. И там я увидел, and there I saw, эту прекрасную девушку. I saw this beautiful girl. I'm guessing that's the girl with the purple hair in the photograph. Perhaps Simon is gay and likes purple hair. I'm just joking. Obviously, liking purple hair doesn't make you gay. Я говорил с ней целый вечер. I spoke with her the entire evening. А что еще делать? And what? А что еще делать в отеле после скучной конференции? And what else is there to do in a hotel after a boring conference? Я хотел знать все об этой. I wanted to know everything about этой удивительной незнакомке. This fascinating or incredible or amazing незнакомке, unknown, like literally a stranger, somebody whom you don't know. Мы говорили о нелюбимой работе. We talked about unloved work, so work that we don't like. О жаркой погоде, about hot weather. О мировой экономике, about world economics. И твоей сестре и ее брате, about your sister and her brother. И о любви, конечно, and about love, of course. Because when you meet a stranger in a bar, of course you talk to them about love. Why wouldn't you? Я был готов говорить. I was ready to speak с этой умной девушкой всю ночь. So I was ready to talk with this smart girl all night. Но через час, but after an hour, я был в отеле. I was in the hotel. So after an hour, I was in the hotel. Но сейчас у меня есть ее визитка. But now I have her визитка. Визитка is, I mean, obviously it's cognate to the English word visit, but it actually means business card. This is also something that exists in German. In German, Visitenkarte, literally like a visit card, is a business card. So, but now I have her business card. Я очень хочу ей позвонить. No, so I really want to call her. No, боюсь, but I worry. Что она думает обо мне как об алкоголике. I worry that she thinks of me like an alcoholic or as an alcoholic. Что мне делать, друг мой? What should I do, my friend? Да, и я не сказал тебе, yes, and I didn't tell you, как ее зовут, what her name is. I didn't tell you what her name is. У нее самое прекрасное имя в мире. She has the most beautiful name in the world, Barbara. So, Bob and his sister Barbara. Пока, Simon. See ya, Simon. So, just in case we were worried that only women can get hopelessly and madly in love with someone, no, obviously men are also capable of profound romantic infatuation. Anyway, so he's in love with this beautiful, smart girl with the most beautiful name in the world. So let's see now. Let's close out the lesson with a small test about the correct answers about Simon's life. So first, неделю назад со мной был. A week ago, Simon was в компании, in company. В командировке, in a business meeting, business trip, or на командировке, on a business trip. In English, you would say on a business trip, but in Russian, as we saw in the letter, the correct formation is в командировке, in business trip. Он познакомился, so he Hold on. This is, I believe this means he met. Hold on. Познакомился. What's познакомился? Did we have this word in the dialogue? Did I just miss it? I feel kind of silly now because I seem to be missing this word. How did I miss that one? Did this just not show up in the dialogue or what? Hold on, let me just quickly check what this. I'm going to assume this either means he met or he talked to. Yeah, met or became acquainted with. I guess it's kind of like the German kennenlernen. He got to know. Let's say he got to know. He got to know с прекрасной девушкой, с прекрасным девушкой, or у прекрасной девушки. So, pretty sure the correct answer is with s. He did something with. And if you're not sure what the correct form is with, since with is instrumental, you can look up here. And you can see the adjective should take oi or ye, and then the noun should take oi or you or ye. So that seems to most closely match up with, well, yeah, it's not im in any case. The adjective doesn't take im as in the second option here, so it must be the first option. С прекрасной девушкой. He got to know a beautiful girl. Утром в отеле уже не было. So morning in the hotel already was not эта девушка. So these are all this girl. So already in the morning, the girl was not in the hotel. But is it эта девушка, which would be the nominative form, эту девушку, which would be the accusative form, or этой девушки, which, what form is that? Этой девушки looks like genitive. Or could be dative. Okay. In any case, leave the option correct. I believe the correct choice is the last one. I can't really say why. I would actually want to say the first one because the woman is the subject of the sentence. So you're saying the woman was not in the hotel, right? But apparently it's этой девушки. Okay, don't ask me why. Он много думает, so he a lot thought. He thought a lot. У этой девушки. Об этой девушке or для этой девушки. So he thought a lot at this girl, about this girl, or for this girl. Well, you know, you think about something, so об is the correct answer here. And then finally, Simon хочет позвонить. He wants to call эту девушку, accusative case, этой девушки, which, or этой девушке, which are other cases. I'm pretty sure the correct answer is the first one because she would be the direct subject of the, oh no, sorry, it's actually этой девушке, the last one. Okay, what case is that? Этой девушке. Этой девушке. So it could be dative. Looks like it's dative then. Why is it dative? I'm not sure. Maybe позвонить is just one of those verbs that takes the dative form because he telephones with her. I don't know. I would have said accusative because it looks like she is the direct target of the noun of the verb, but it looks like she is in fact not, and it's actually the dative case, I guess. So it's этой девушке. So the cases are still sometimes a mystery. It's still sometimes a mystery what case you're supposed to use because even what here looks very clearly like an accusative case form is actually surprisingly a dative case form. So the lesson threw us kind of a curveball at the end. Somehow at the end it got confusing, and I don't know why. Don't know why it ended up that way. Why does life have to be like this? Why is life so complicated? I don't know. But anyway, that was lesson 24. Yes, lesson 24 of Learn Russian with Learn Russian. Next time around, yes, next lesson is 25, possessive pronouns for feminine nouns. Again, I think it should be pretty easy for the most part. I think that should be pretty straightforward lessons, so hopefully we'll see you there. Thanks for watching, folks, and keep learning Russian with Learn Russian, or maybe without Learn Russian. You don't have to use Learn Russian. You can learn Russian using other means, but whatever you do, keep learning Russian because Russian is very Russian. So we'll see you in the next lesson, folks. Until then, пока.